Are they going though? Because Kang waiting here on B gets caught!
No way, Sheriff in his hands. He felt like he was almost good for the one, but with him dropped, EDG gearing up for a bit of an attempt through this one, just biding their time, waiting in the smoke, and they hear the rumble of the footsteps. Nobody is going to be tested. A lot to overcome into this spot with the movement. Clean up and over, but here comes the pincer. Crunch from behind, EDG. Leaving no stone unturned. They cleared away mostly through, and Sacy's now the one who has to hold down the line.
TenZ got stuck on that pivot. Sacy sees them, stunned.
It's a pixel angle that he's working with here, but the damage is being dished out. Sentinels left scrappy, and it's down to Zellsis trying to tap with the gun. Position, a bonus round conversion in his sight. Still, flash has to be avoided. Still gets the one. Great adjustment and snap back with a crosshair placement. 40 seconds left for Sentinels, and the question remains which way are they trying to land? And NeuroFF will give them critical information to work with.
It looks like they're going to group up over towards A, but that's still where Smoggy and Simon are.
30 seconds left.
No easy openings, 25 seconds left. Jump spots. Smoggy sees it, catching it. A lot of information gathered. Fault line is good though. Just concatenates on top, and Simon just trying to play this tight angle. Blinded up from the side, still lands that shot. Traded though, plant down for johnqt, nothing to push this one back.
Ridiculously good supportive utility there from Zellsis and TenZ.
Nobody's going to be praying that somebody opens up wide, but up onto the heaven angle. Zellsis, who's claiming that one, dropped down. Double digits of health, but there's only CHICHOO left with the Bulldog. They're here to reload. It gives paying attention to how they've been trying to play. And look at this, bit of a trap play setup, but stun missing. Hello, accidental kill. Right through the wall, bit of unfortunate action.
To try to make up for that fact.
Nobody has the rifle. Nobody has the rifle, but as he's looking for that information, I mean, that's what happens when the drone is used a little bit prior. Didn't have it to try and safely garner it. At least there's going to be relay bolts as well, and space given. Yeah.
This is ridiculously good from Sen. That lurk timing from Zellsis is marvelous.
Wait
but
a
it doesn't
second.
matter.
Yeah, and Smoggy's right back in there. The paranoia is already sent out. That's preemptive. Outlaw in the hands of 140. Zekken down to the double digits, but still alive for now. Glides to the side. And he is the spearhead. Like, literally in this case, man. Cracks open the C site despite the resistance that EDG were trying to put up.
Doesn't seem likely that Kang would be able to pull this off, but he is an extraordinary player. If he had the stun to work with, maybe he'd be able to isolate a one.
A wall to get in two, but honestly with his money low, in a 1v3, best course of action probably going to be to save.
Yeah, he's just seeing there whether anyone's going to give him a free duel. But Sentinels going to play with a bit more discipline than that.
Well,
they're looking to try to take the gun.
Yeah, they understand the importance of this one. Sentinels thinking ahead.
Bye-bye.
Zekken, head clean off.
Go, go, go.
Sen realize it. They're in danger of just being trapped. Going down to the spike, so they're going to...
And it's nobody, the newer IGL for EDG, that actually gets the wrong read on this round. You see him being caught there going for the re-clear on A. He'd called for his team to reinforce the C site, because in his head, that's the most Lodgeman's a little far away to deny this plant with his ult. Is he going to rip it?
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
well, the stun at least does connect. He doesn't let the ult go. Aftershock is a little bit delayed there, lighting up onto Zekken, but still the plant is down. Hunter's Fury trying to layer this one down, along with the Rolling Thunder. Cacophony of ultimates, and it is coming up to fruition. johnqt there holding onto the corner. Simon with a reposition, and there's a count for it. johnqt dropped down, just can't reset the aim in time. 2v2. A tap. NeuroFF reveals it. Fights to be taken down to that 1v1. And CHICHOO now going to be getting that information. Sacy is revealed with the shots fired off as well. Jump spot, pulls him off. No half in sight for CHICHOO. He's tapping away as well, praying for those stray shots to hit Sacy. Might need to swing this one. CHICHOO unable to survive. Kang might have something to say with it. Jump spot. In through the sprint and the glide. Fully accurate. Nobody. Not long for it. Oh, and accounting for it. They've missed each other.
But he's not watching.
Not watching at all. And still damage is done to Zekken. Softened up from the prior engagement still. TenZ striking from behind. The trade is online. They might want to make their moves now over towards A, but already bodies are rapidly approaching. The trouble is EDG do not have the guns for the job.
And Sentinels can backfill all of this space up to where TenZ was, because they know it was only Kang that went through.
Bloody hell, I mean, the fault line's dodged here. Simon, there's plenty of chances for him still. He is landing them. The Sheriffs are singing right now for EDG. Defensive smoke. A lot of uncertainty for Sentinels. And they can feel it. They're going to try and bail themselves out of this one. The Rolling Thunder is committed. Simon tucked to the corner, but not going to be broken here. The Hunter's Fury clears its way through and back and around here. The fault line was dodged by CHICHOO. Has found himself and carved out a little bit of a pocket and space to play around. Paranoia still here, but the aftershock is way too much. Just singeing his feet. CHICHOO just couldn't stand still amongst most of that fire. Zekken offloading it with the overdrive. Peppering them, some stray shots. EDG are going to need a pick to see if they can make this one doable. Zekken overextending ever so slightly, but still he's good for the kill as well. That tracking! They just can't get a handle or any sort of control on him. It's precise. KangKang almost there. Could have provided a chance, an opportunity, but Smoggy's been left alone into the 1v3, and TenZ takes back up that position. Low enough as well, but drone sees it. Off spotted. Out for Garage now. Pincer play by Sen. Try and make their moves in through the C site now. Ball cuts it up. You can see there's an awareness at the back of the heads of Sen. They're worried about this operator in play at work. Paranoia's used to clear most of the way alongside the dart. There's many waves of the util. Zellsis with the plant. He will get his ult online from this one. Everybody grouped up from EDG, setting themselves up to try and play for the retake, but it's preemptive. Sen using this to try and strike. CHICHOO's there. Offset though, nobody covering it. An overextension by Sentinels. Now it's up to these remaining players if they can pick up the pieces, but the stun is immaculate and the spray down.
Big weapon.
Let's go and re-exploring. Risky, but you're down so many rounds that sometimes risks need to be taken. Doesn't break down the drone. It's a fault line as well. Does catch. Slow down to a crawl cage on the cross. Sowing a bit of that misinformation. Sentinels trying to make it feel like they could be retaking over towards A lobby. Dart's going to be used side by side though, shoulder to shoulder. These players unaware that they've crossed up. And Smoggy now isolated. He's on an island through the back of the site. The util once more. It is impeccable. Trying to dodge and weave around from this play. CHICHOO and Simon now. It's a quick flood attempt in through the back. Picking up these rifles in their hands. At least with the upgrades. Hunter's Fury scatters through. Fights to be taken by EDG. That could be set up for success on most of it. Sprayed down. Pistol round and a few stray gun rounds. What a shot! KangKang. Flexing his muscles. Zekken. My God, yeah, TenZ is as well, but they don't realize and anticipate. Okay, CHICHOO is going to get dropped here right through the smoke. CDG trying to attempt to flood their way through. Nora Fifth reveals all. And TenZ will make full usage of it. Paranoia. Connection. Movement from KangKang is the only surviving element. And praying for a shot to connect there to make it just a little bit more winnable. But for Sentinels, primed and ready for that 8th round. Just a shorty to work with. There are so many angles as well. Got to be worrying about the high ground where TenZ have been perched up. It's a double hold out through the back. The cam tagging him. You have to play into this round as a last chance in the half. But it's futile. He's been given nothing. Toyed with darts. He's having to deal with it all. It's all being dished out. One last hurrah by Sen. And that time, fully against him. A bit of a flourish. So it's going to be used, an eye for an eye here with a utils. KangKang! He's right there, still surviving, still kicking, and he wants to take even more away from them. 2 removed before the trade is intact, but Zekken still here alive, worried about this flanking play, but the adjustment is there, at least with the micro aim. Drops CHICHOO. He's still the thorn in their sides. The Paranoia sweeping through. Zekken plays his life. Sacy opens himself up in through heaven. There's chances here and accounted for. Nobody's seeing it. The trade though, nobody. Great adjustment. They're aware that Zekken was playing down towards here. There was not enough distraction to give him an in. Win cons are narrow at that. Simon, off angle, just can't drop in. 1 bullet will do it. Zekken somehow still alive in the midst of all of this. One is a bad dart. Still the move.
Yeah, normal, like reacting to A, no problem, easy call.
They're going to go for that. So EDG open. Still a little bit worried as well because the defensive smoke. Zellsis has found CHICHOO. That does give away the gun, but got to imagine with side control, EDG as well. Spades at a util, KangKang.
They're worried about the flank. They're thinking about pushing spawn and flipping the map. They decide not to, and it turns out that's the right call because most of Sen are back.
Time's going to start ticking here. The advantage should still be for EDG. Got the guns, TenZ, okay. That's ridiculous. Zekken's been played in as well. All the crosshair placement being slipped up and around here. KangKang is worried about these swings. No way, Sentinels can't be getting away with this. Off onto the flank, they double up players as well. Smoke once more. The dart has to be broken. Nobody's sticking this one. Sacy finally under the fuse, but everybody dropped. EDG.
Sentinels pull off the MasterCard Thrifty. And first of all, they isolate CHICHOO, right? But that only gets them one gun. It should still be difficult for them to come back into the site. The rest of EDG had backed up, trying to play. He's absent right now.
Oh my goodness, okay, Kang. Fast play. Zips his way past there. Zekken's going to be revealed up as well, but has to respect most of this one. Sacy trying to play with the drone that was used prior. Gets the tag onto the one, but pushed back and away. But a player dropped on the side of Sentinels. This is the opening that EDG were praying for.
Kang's delivered them another one.
Zekken going for that re-exploration, looking for the info. Simon's tucked, only the shoulder. Smoggy's there to supplement as well. Help him. Ow! What is that movement? Zekken just counters it. Simon, it's an absolute worldie with that shot right there. And the reload bullet sprayed down to the bitter end. Simon, quick to capitalize.
Some incredible shooting to get EDG back into things there. TenZ is going to
all
of these rotates.
Footsteps.
He might be able to cut somebody off as well. Nobody was thinking about going through the garage. That would have been a death sentence. TenZ is right here behind them, though. If EDG pause for a moment, he's going to have the backstab.
Yep. That smoke at C is going to be fading. They are not going to anticipate this. He is so quick right there behind them.
He needs his own smoke to fade.
And it will be dissipating. Opens him up, Simon! He's still there, though. This guy's been a savior for EDG in so many moments. The util just narrowly avoided. At least with the fault line, johnqt still here. But enough has been done, surely, for EDG, and they know it. Doubled up high-low. Simon taking that point.
Okay. They've also seen Simon's ripping it on the fake.
He's going for a fake here, just very much alone, just trying to cut that noise. The Hunter's Fury as well to try and sell this one. Players trying to be pulled back. Sacy, though, he realizes it. There's no follow-up off the back of it. Doesn't hear any footsteps, so Sentinels just contain that. Bring it down into the 4v4, slow it all the way down, realizing that they've lost control, but so is Kang. Losing track of where these players could potentially be. johnqt puts him in his place and spraying him down through the cage. All revealed with the neural theft. It's gone tipsy-turvy. EDG. What should have been a great opener, they've overthunk, I think, into the round itself. CHICHOO's low, great movement. Slightly ajar. Deals with that dart. The bolt and the stun just not quite connecting. Still, they want to square him, Simon! God, he's a miracle worker. Survives on barely a shred of health. As low as you can go. Cut noise now, go for the rest of the hit, but he has opened his sight up now. In and away, johnqt. Spraying in through the smoke as well. The slightest of reveals, and the bullets just not quite landing onto Kang, but potentially done enough here. Played Sacy in through, onto the flank, right through the wall. Lands it to the dome. Kang's being dropped now. 3 versus 3. Sentinels still make a go of things here. EDG trying to make that play. Good trade by TenZ once more, but the smoke dropped down. Now with a paranoia, all added on top. Leaving it just down to TenZ, and he's doing damage right through the wall. Isolates the one for bullets! Oh boy!
Kills across 18 rounds. And he's just saved them after Simon should have opened the door and made that one unlosable for EDG.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Isolate the
Tap. Try and pull somebody util out as well. Fake the presence. Zekken! What? The cage helps him!
How's he getting away?
That's ridiculous! Glides himself back as well. And back and forth we go. It's EDG scrambling for a chance to get back into this. Zekken is still alive. Overdrive in his hands, and he wants more. Never bite of the apple. But discipline is called for in moments like this, and they temper the round down at that minute mark. Zellsis, flash, re-exploration, re-clearing, double held though, and that is Sentinels getting ahead of themselves.
It is good information, however, for Sacy to start pushing out. Could he be the playmaker here?
Odin.
EDG are quite trapped. They don't quite know where everybody is. In fact, they don't know where anybody is.
Full map control lost. Sacy, Smoggy. He's watching for that peek. The slow walk around the corner.
Finally comes alive in this
30
map.
seconds left.
It's down to Zellsis, 1v3 spam. Through into the smoke. Plan down from Simon, but the smoke was watching it.
Walking in here, and it could all be over!
Oh no! But CHICHOO dropped. The flank opened up. And Sentinels, they know that they can play this one nice and safe.
Look at the retake cam. Broken. Nice awareness.
Yeah, shock dart has to be used to make sure to get rid of that one though, but he planned down. Extension into the round, but this is it. This is where EDG make their stand. See if they can stay alive into this map.
You need good defensive utility here from the post planters. Paranoia, Aftershock has to be used to keep them back.
It's going to be used. Eye for an eye when it comes to the util. Aftershock even down into hell. Sentinels are being kept out of the fight. Kang will ensure that they don't step past it. Nobody right there with him. The feed is filled up, all with red. And Hunting chasing. johnqt fully blind. Pulled out of them. They don't want anything to do with it. Hunter's Fury could get some tags onto a few of these players. Yeah, Kang. He was dodging, was weaving, was hoping that it would be unaccounted for. And here's the reaction. EDG now making the moves over towards C.
Who gets the plant in this position? Okay, nobody throws the spike over to Simon. That's going to get them Rolling Thunder active. Do they play aggressive with it? We saw Sen fail in this spot before.
They're going to let it loose. Let it rip in through the back. But it's so easy to overextend if you're the attackers. That's broken. That's the trigger. They want to try and go for this one. Smokes in their face. Aftershock as well. Rifles in play at work. Fault line. And get Sentinels back into the fight and back into the fray. Cut them up. Paranoia is perfect. Players are there. Sliding, gliding forwards. CHICHOO is dropped to his knees. And for ED.
Non-standard from EDG, and we're going to get a clash on Mound.
Here's a hard read as the C's stayed up and over. Wow. And yeah, paint shells.
Play though, up into A. John getting pressured a little bit here, but there's always the pivot through that blue room. That's where they're going. End on B.
Smoggy earned himself a lot of space for the rest of his team, and yet that is an open avenue as a flash and a peek from Smoggy, but nobody from Sentinels overstepping themselves. In fact, it's Smoggy who's worse for the wear. Might be calling for another refight. They are grouped up. I believe that's 3 players of EDG looking for the fight. They don't think Zekken is here. Cuts it up close. Boombot in his hands, lets it loose. Will take that contact in through the smoke. And the fight has to be taken. Risks in order for EDG to bail themselves out of this spot. But they just can't. Heavily impactful. Basically defines the way that you do play the map of Lotus with this composition. Very much all in though from EDG. In through B. Sentinels give up this open space onto the site. Willing to try and play this one into the retake with the bonus weaponry that they do have. They are grouped up as well, so 5 versus 5.
Pressure here towards Heaven onto johnqt, who only has a ghost. That could be the win con for EDG.
Making sure that they can dominate a portion of the post plan here. John seemingly aware of it though. He just catches that contact and he makes the call that they are playing up towards Heaven. The question is, does Sen have anything to deal with it? Bullets flying forwards. Luck of the draw was what they were hoping for. Simon doesn't need luck on his side. Flex the muscles, flex the mechanics. And with that, Sen, the round is dusted for them.
What a spot to put your breach in.
Yeah.
Smoggy getting on the board early up as well. Helping settle
players though. They're lying in wait and the paranoia triggers the play. Still, CHICHOO still there! And this guy is ready to punish them for the hubris, thinking that they could take that fight open and out. Sacy gone for that repeak. The trade not in sight. Players not ready to account for that one. Sacy's still here, man! Watchful eye from John. A couple of different avenues, but not pushed together! John, where have you pulled that one from? The brink seemingly, it leaves it all down to Smoggy. Time will start to tick onto this one here, and he's isolating his voice line and his players up yet, John!
All 3 players could be caught.
Zekken's closer to showstopper, and he's gonna let him rip! Early on, well, at least not even getting the kill, damage done. Nobody's still surviving. Here's the Rolling Thunder, but they've crossed it up onto the corner! And TenZ and Sacy will punish them for stepping past that.
What a read from Sen that was going B early on. Fake rubble fight, and they've read the pivot over towards C here as well. They are not worried about a repop into B whatsoever. Taking spawn, waterfall, ready to fight these guys, deny the plant before it even comes through.
Hardest read.
John's so far ahead of the game.
Just following the sound cues as well, Simon. Sticking with the plant, he doesn't even get that. Bullets precisely lay it down exactly where they were needed, and CHICHOO's just praying, hoping that he doesn't receive the same fate. Spike planted, but it's not in a great spot here, and with the paranoia sweeping his way through, it's down to instinct and timing. CHICHOO still traded off, only with the one. Smoggy smoked off and away and across.
Stretched.
Slower play though. Quad 4, it's pulled a lot of these Sentinels players out and away. CHICHOO's the only player in through the side. CHICHOO sticking with the TP in through. You're in the smoke already. TP crossed up under the corner. CHICHOO punish from the Odin spam. Directed him exactly to where Zellsis is going to be playing from, and the smokes are renewed in the face of Sentinels. This is a different look for EDG, but still finding it difficult to even get this plant down. Nobody with the plan. Nightfall now. Going to be used and expended. Sentinels trying to use this to get themselves in. And johnqt scatters their ashes to the wind. CHICHOO will have to hold it down. Out through the back move with all sound cut away. Not long for this world. Smoggy left. Isolating. Heads are popping. Sacy sticking onto the half. The util is good. Best chance in a long while. They've got to deal with Sacy, not dead yet. Sacy sticking, but the swing. Part of the pixel angle, but he's going to be retreating now. Throw into the back of the side. EDG, they want to go rapid. Increase of the tempo, overdrive as well. That's put in a squeeze, and TenZ tested in that moment. Can't offset EDG, overwhelming him as the smokes dissipate too. johnqt is fully unaware. Nades ricocheting, but it matters not. Smoggy right there when you least expect him. Way of things when you do end up
down, and they're able to get this space, and they found a completely open A site. EDG come out of the attack timeout, read Zen perfectly.
Great ideas. Center in position though to try and make a go of this one with the flood defense. Rocket to the floor, and it finds the contacted target exactly zekken was looking for. Almost beamed down into the process, but it's a kill advantage, and that puts the uncertainty in place here for EDG. It's a tap, and they want nothing to do with the A site.
I mean, ideally, they'd be looking to pivot over towards B, but they don't actually have any info there. Nobody playing B main. They'd have to be worried about so many angles if they did go for that pivot. They also only have one smoke on Smoggy right now.
Door opened and a cut of noise. Trying to bait Sen in for the re-exploration. Still the Haunt will reveal the hand. And Smoggy cuts it up onto the angle as they're trying to evacuate and make that pivot possible out towards B. There's still players at their backs. Sentinels could be ready to remove a few lives. Peek from Sacy. Haunt as well, doesn't get broken. And it's flanks on flanks, the timing's round and round we go. Simon reveals it. It's a phone line. He's trying to play his team back in, but from that angle, johnqt is none the wiser.
He thought it was coming from sight.
Still a 2v2. Not planned to really for them well. Not at the baby door, Sacy's holding. Damage done to Zellsis. It's precarious. He feels like he can't really make the tap happen. Contact, high-low, EDG. Waiting to strike that time pressure. Sentinels, you're running out of win cons. You've got to stick this at some point. Circle's got to be shrinking at some point here. Locking it down onto the corner and half not earned. It's EDG. Bringing it back. Immediate response again from EDG to make the right reads in that regard.
Yeah, I think coming out of this tag timeout, it's actually worked against Kaplan. EDG are even happier knowing that there's 4 players committed to A at the beginning of the round.
There's going to be another level to this one. There was a Paranoia and a Prowler used by EDG. Rolling Thunder is earned, and Simon has it primed and ready. Up and over the top. A lot of angles to account for. That is composure from CHICHOO, and he wants to take it one step further still. Defended. Up and over the shoulder. The IGL will put CHICHOO to bed.
EDG, though, have taken so much space. Send group up, re-clear through spawn. TenZ the backstab through waterfall as well.
Unorthodox with the ankle, nobody. It is aim train to the skies. Yep, that Haunt, it still gets the value and still gets the damage done. CHICHOO can't land it with a spray, but eventually there. Stun still connecting. Sacy now sticking, defended, up and around, and Simon's left to do it all from that spot.
Or B, depending on where Sen take contact first.
Pings, yep, they saw John before he was even aware of the process.
Right there.
Block him out of the picture, taking him out with the head. As Paranoia is beautiful, blinding up into this spot. Smoggy is putting the squeeze on alongside CHICHOO.
I love that read. Smoggy and CHICHOO there ready to backstab the people trying to punish Mount. EDG, their macro game has been remarkably good these last 5 or so rounds.
Then they're trying to go for round 2. While this is going on though, it's EDG that somehow been flipped up against them. With CHICHOO being dropped, Smoggy now has to contain and contest alongside the flank. Never go around with the door rotating. It's random spray. They know what it takes to get the round done, finished, clocked up.
There's a chance that Sen is still going to be able to put together
with. Makes it hard for EDD to chew through. Zellsis now. Lockdown. It's nothing to really clear this one. You have to take this one. Fighting straight up. Brute force on display. Blinded up though, and the util is overwhelming. Sheer cacophony of it. Nothing to clear it. Respect has to be shown. EDG now have to back away. Cut away with the sound cues. They don't even know if anybody's onto this one, but just peering up and over, spamming away, still earning their way into a round win. EDG and CHICHOO ahead of the curve. Spotted. Yes, indeed. The season nade it rebounds as well, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide out against it. Util combo. Unfortunate. kanqang's going to be dropped and that first kill handed over to Sen, but there's still chances for EDG. They're doubled up. It's a high-low waiting for the bodies to come flying forwards here. Playing up the sound cue. Stun was good and stopping them in their tracks. Sentinels cannot cross that line and a barrier just not there for them. Zellsis time against him. And it's of the essence. There needs to be that defense. 4 seconds left. They've got to stick this one. It needs to be covered. CHICHOO. He wins the day. johnqt was not there.
Sure, it doesn't actually allow a kill to follow up off the back of it, but it distressed Sen, made them have to hit the C site in a couple of different waves and allowed for easier kills. You can see the pings on the minimap. They're going to make it look like they're re-clearing onto rubble.
And trying to push his players back. What is that from nobody? It's all split up by Sen as well. Everybody's just willing to take their own fights here. The rifle out open. What an adjustment. Nobody snaps to the sides. Dismisses John as easily as that. Sacy is turned to step up, but a movement at charge just makes it so damn awkward. TenZ up and ready. Smoke in his face, 60 HP. Not just a tap, it's a full stick as well from kanqang with a smoke as well. The play around comes down to that RNG. And a shot to bullets.
Sentinels have only won 1 round out of the last 9. This is dominant from EDG. They got activated halfway through that first half, and then now they can't be stopped. Utterly open.
Gone for a fight though, Zellsis. It's been caught by this. The stun is perfect. kanqang is right there. Up onto it. Paranoia slightly misses. Ultra expended. Ultra committed. And EDG have put everything into this. But they topple. They fall. Crumbled from the util in a hold of Sentinels. It's discipline that reins them in.
EDG, after the TAC timeout, have tried to change their defensive setups. Anything that they've gone for that was different to what they opened with has failed. This is nice pressure. It's just keeping Simon anchored to the A site. Does it pull Smoggy away? No, he's going to read this.
Still at that angle. It's a brutal one to take. Crosshair placement. It's handed Sen. That's it. Going to let it loose relatively early there just to set up kanqang onto the line. And TenZ accounted for. Spotted onto the corner. Here's the response. Showstopper! Ricochets and claims Smoggy. John just trying to tether those players over towards the A side as well. Rest of Sentinels. Creeping and crawling their way over towards the B side, now committing into this plan. They're going to hear these noise cues. EDG are relatively split apart. They're actually not connected.
You could kind of say the same for Sentinels, though. Zekken's going to back off. If he was playing that post plan on site, he would have been very isolated. And we saw John being disconnected on the lurk was critical in terms of how they lost the pistol round.
Fault line used here. Simon's position. They're going to know this is online. Lockdown has to be defended as well. Stuns, Ricochet, Zekken. Couldn't hold a candle to it. kanqang's there, spraying, spamming, praying that they can do it. But they can't break the lockdown in time. Respect has to be shown. Time starting to tick. Simon wants to increase the heat. The tempo there for it. Just making sure he's the distraction already. But the circle shrinks. Time escapes EDG into that spot. All goes wrong with no way to clear that.
Retake as Sen get into sight. They got the pace to do it.
Yeah, most of it's going to be fading as well. CHICHOO does have that open access. Door's going to be broken down. kanqang has already ripped this one away, but it's traded. In kind. TenZ is there. Satchel play. Beautiful. Tracking. CHICHOO's there. Aware of the fact that there could be that second player. And drops TenZ out of action. 18 seconds left. TP forwards. That is crazy stuff by CHICHOO, but honestly, the pressure, it's all on Sacy. Reload committed, side by side. Needs to play this one in for the rest of his team. Accounted for, but time against him. It's only 4 seconds left, and at this point, it's against them. They realize it. EDG backing away. Nobody just has to survive, and it's a round win for EDG up to 11.
No paranoia, no fault line, none of that business to stop them getting into the C site.
It's down to Smoggy. He's holding it down towards the back. Beaming him down. Still got the ult as well. It's not dead yet. Nobody up and over the top. Punish onto TenZ. Nana swarms, shredding them to pieces onto the back of the side here, but as the smokes dissipate, Smoggy is alive and ready to deny the entirety of the round. And Sacy once more. Time almost there. The crosshair placement wasn't, but still he snaps it back. Well aligned, accounting for everybody.
Spike down A.
And Sen just cannot hold against it. Showstopper now used as desperation. Following the traces, Zekken takes the gamble. But all that play, all that work, it's an ult expended to no avail. Zellsis dropped. The options are withering away. For EDG, they can feel it, they know it. Sunset It's ready and waiting. It's primed for them here. Nightfall scatters. TenZ is low. No more sound cues to work off of. Haunt lights him up. The TP to adjust, but again, he's no long for the world. Zekken, last one left. And he cannot dodge this util. EDG are ready to swarm, ready to collect. It'll take a miracle to stop it at this point. They are not ready to let it happen. EDG. And slow and steady to begin. CHICHOO going to be hearing most of his presence, but he hears no footsteps off the back of it. He might just think it's... Yeah, false presence at that. Still, it's going to be util being used to try and bail him out. It's Kang sends it flying with the rally bolt here. Stuns flying. Okay, with the right clicks as well. No kills to be earned. And a quick pivot over towards Market.
They were not expecting to see Zellsis here.
Up through the gut. EDG paving the way over towards the A site. johnqt is going to be a lot asked of him. Smoggy is way ahead of the rest of most of his team. In fact, through the cage, almost claiming a second. But eventually put him down and out. Sitting back to the spectator seat. It's an open A site now for the plant. Simon commits to this one, but 4 players alive as Sentinels are grouped up with that pack mentality. Emphasis being placed now on CHICHOO. Zekken is low enough. He takes our first point, and precision is just unreal. Zellsis barely keep it all together. Dropped down to 48 health. A dart, a flash, all expended into his face, but the job is done. CHICHOO's done enough. Time taken away. The nade at the feet, isolating the fights away. It's getting tested. It's getting stretched, and nobody
holds on the B site.
Oh, the counting for John.
That's nasty.
Barely peeking out from the pillar. Nobody will punish. Born in through the back, though. That is a response by Zekken. He's want to put some more damage and hurt into these EDG players. Still out through mid. CHICHOO attempting to pluck some of these players out of the picture. TenZ still holding. And the rifle aim is dead. Not enough to escape, though. Ghost. The supplement of the fire by Smoggy does manage to trade that one out. Nade, it's out, but it does miss. Off to the side, Sacy sticking. Anything else to push this one back needs to be defended. Zekken, he can't really let this one loose. Still, it's half already onto the board. And the mid flanks and the fight from main. Damage is done. Value gain, potentially a round win at that fight. Forced out, Zekken with a tap.
They've turned it around massively from the kind of opening they had on Haven. But they lost 7 rounds in a row after Pistol.
Resilience is showcased. EDG willing to take a step back here, but Kang might be regretting that one. Offset here, overdrive is available. Flash through into the back. That's Simon looking to hold his own ground against this. Smoke dominated. Nobody's still trying to command that position, but he falls. Simon will have to retreat now. His back's against the wall. Smoggy defending at least a portion of it. Aftershock into the corner. Tenuous here for EDG, but they still have those rifles. It's going to be a big advantage working potentially for them. Picked up with the upgrades. johnqt fires straight back at them. They spot him. Nobody. Past it.
The cam's always going to get cleared there because people are always watching for TenZ on top of the box.
Yeah, it's a spot that he loves.
And this time, it's the same kind of hole in Sen's defense. And so that means that they're forced to play a lot of B retakes.
There's danger here.
There is, even with full rifles for Sentinels, there is danger because these B-lane post plants are so overpowered on
Kill trips. I mean, nobody's got an ult. He's already getting into position to be able to play this one. And Sen don't have a lot of time to work with. Kill trips. Chewing up these players, rooted into spot from Sentinels. They've got to find a way to navigate it. Sacy, diffusing, sticking, reveal up, Hunter's Fury, Sacy! My God! It's down to the wire, down to the brink, have earned! But Zellsis is the last chance for him! The gang! johnqt gonna get caught. No command emanating out, that means the trips go online too. We're hoping to play some kill trip setups as well.
And they drop off. TenZ was thinking about trying to get into backside there, and the rest of his team wasn't willing.
Once more, Senna going to be tested. This time, we're trying to hold on for these retakes as well. Nobody. That first point of contact. Who's the one to trade online out of Nightfall? Scatters his way through, in through the main angle. Noise. Cut away. Zekken with the defuse, but he's pushed back from some form of the util. Overdrive popped off. Kang! Goodness me! Tears them to pieces. TP up and over. TenZ that is precise. And he's got to be keen, surgical, whipping his way through and behind. He's going to try and defend this one. johnqt brought down, but a half earned. There's a chance and a potential. CHICHOO
Does Sen deal with it?
Zellsis is in position. It's going to be a fault line off the back of that with zekken, I should say, collecting that first kill. No noise made.
I mean, they can hear the neon through spawn.
From EDG's part of things, CHICHOO punishes it. All the footsteps pointing towards it. Rolling thunder is to try and shore up, stem the bleeding.
Yeah,
stop it in its tracks.
You can't follow up on that. That's just to stop EDG from running away with the round. That's purely for map control, the breach ult.
It just feels frantic from Sentinels at this point.
But at least TenZ is in an anchor position. They're actually looking to hold back B site this time.
Paranoia swoops its way forwards here. There's 38 seconds to play with. Only mid-control for EDG.
And nobody's calling a pivot back to the A side, putting stress on Sacy. He's still got Horn, sees, ways of slowing this down.
Sacy will be in hot water. Now to him, the util, the gun into his hand, whether or not he can push this back. Dodging, sidestepping. Most of the util gives up access to the site, but as long as he hold on to elbow control, and he can't even do that. CHICHOO comes around the corner like an absolute Ferrari. Zellsis will punch it right back. CHICHOO flatlined and dropped. 3 versus 3 is where we stand. The pressure now on to Sen for this retake, all grouped up. Cam broken. Nobody noted. Smoke in their faces, spamming, spraying away, trying to pave the way to success for Sentinels. They need RNG on their side. Only the one, and they're just getting collected. I'm spotting it. Fault line slowing them down here. It's a refight called Sentinels. They want to get straight into the fight. Clash called for, and 1 out. CHICHOO might have something to say about it. Brings it to the 2 versus 3. Spike still dropped down to the bottom section. The squeeze of Sen, they have full control over towards mid. Will take heroics, and with the damage done, weakened up, CHICHOO cannot stand against most of it. Nobody. Trying to play bait and switch as well, taking that fight. Backstep in, hoping he can isolate at least one of them, but the crossfire setup should be intact. Foolproof from Sentinels at this point as well. Baits that peak. Seeing if he can spot these players out.
They're in mid and bait out this reclear from Sen.
And they're just holding for the peak. What util did he even have as well? Contact cord as well. Full line is late. Zellsis. Util doesn't help him. It's EDG with the initiative in that fight. And with it, you can sit down and stare at it, but it's a 5 versus 2 scenario. Sentinels have no real chance back into this round.
Their economy is not in a terrible spot. If TenZ and John were any closer to the action, they might give it a try. But EDG have outplayed them again. The story of this half early on was Sen giving away too many opportunities, but now that they're playing a little bit of a better game, EDG are just pulling it back out of their grasp. The call in there from nobody is so strong. Faking like they're doing the same stuff. Throwing that same market util. And John, he is not holding on to this weapon. He's got players behind.
The retakes. So EDG can take their time with it. Contact most of the way. The trips will not be as I say that, I wasn't expecting them to get Valley. They spotted them out onto the corner. Still John takes down Smoggy. Drops him to the floor.
Spike planted.
Sova all coming through onto these guys. Look at those pings. Look at the angle that nobody's going to have.
And they're ready to fight this one right as the retake is occurring. Tags up into a few of these players. Hunter's Fury has to be dodged and juked and avoided. Let's skip rope over it. CHICHOO though, still here. CHICHOO takes up the space, stands tall, stands strong, and will not be denied anything at all. It's a monstrous performance from many individuals on EDG.
That's his ult online. It looks like they want to play a more aggressive defensive B.
Oh, trying to send it. As soon as Simon uses his ult, that's the trigger to try and slow them down, but there will be no follow-up. And CHICHOO, my God! This guy, he won't be denied. Playing in through CHICHOO. He's hungry for more. There's blood in the water sense, but punishment in sight as Sacy will drop him eventually. Down to his knees, but it's still EDG in control. Backside players, B main still theirs. We've seen Sen perform miracles, but this, just a little too unlikely. When EDG are setting up pop players like this, contesting, squeezing Sen for absolutely every inch of space, there is no... We've heard the phrase, 1 round at a time is going to have to be the case here for Sentinels. Being pushed back immediately. signs of resistance. EDG are holding this one. Plenty of players now to try and take this contact and take these fights. Names stricken off the record with nobody leading it for his team. And they want even more. Not content with just laying claim to just a few. 10. Option. No room to breathe. Fault line's good though. CHICHOO with the cage to cover. His own cross here. Does give up access over towards B, so full side control plan going down and through the back of the sides. Oh my! CHICHOO, the util, just augments the hold and puts the squeeze on the Sentinels team. But listen, they've been battered and bruised before, but not quite like this. They had to barrel their own way past it, but with subpar weaponry and one left alive, Zekken, miracle to ask for. Picks up the weapon, but EDG with rifles in hand, well trained now onto all these spots. The Prowler, it's an in and an opportunity, but immediately defensive util. We were pointing it out, the paranoia is perfect to push back. There's pressure applied onto these EG anchoring players and still trying to take the fight up through the gut. Different directions here, still beaming them down. Simon dropped to his knees, maybe handed them over that weaponry in all tens. Collecting the kills off through the flank, overdrive. Finds his mark. The tracking is immense. So Sentinels will be able to stay alive a little bit longer.
And the pathing is great. Sen's attack side is fantastic on
two, but it's paranoia immediately going forward. CHICHOO, this is his area, this is his domain. But he is cleaned up nevertheless, chopped up into pieces and spitting them all the way out. Nobody seeking to plug those gaps. Will go down as a result of it. 4 players still left to stand here by Sen, but chances for EDG still. Flash is good, crossing back in through main. EDG not able to catch any of them. It's the crosshair placement, but they are rapidly now getting themselves into position. Onto the site, stun is excellent. Flash though, peek immediately there. Gonna be traded, out and over, spraying them down with the rifles. Heroics and a bit of luck at play. EDG are hoping for it. Through the box now, Simon.
Shouldn't be possible.
On a stage like this as well, when there's never been more pressure. And this is a trap play if I've ever seen one. Paranoia sweeps, stun alongside it, rattling with the Sheriff in hand, chewing up the Sentinels players. Not many options are available to you, and Zellsis, he didn't have a clue. Blinded up, spike dropped down into the laps of EDG. This is exactly what we were talking about. There is no room to breathe when there's up to 12 rounds. EDG can feel it, spike, pick back up. Earns itself. Sacy, a lot to adjust and overcome. TenZ is down and